Hello, welcome back. It is the next day. Yes, I've been out here for a minute doing some diagnosis. I haven't gotten it running yet, but I do know it's going to run now. So let me show you what I did to diagnose what was wrong so that it will help you in the future. So me being me, been doing this for a while. In the last video, we went through two crank sensors, which the one that came on the engine when it was running, their crank sensors are iffy. So I wouldn't have been surprised if the crank sensor just went bad. I've had that happen many times before. It actually, just a little story for reference. I was driving the Cuda one day on the highway doing about 80, 85, and it kept cutting out. Long story short, ended up being the crank sensor. The crank sensor literally just went out as I was driving. And so went through two. It's like, okay, it's a good chance. It's two bad ones. I was like, before we start throwing any more at it, I have a truck in the back that's LS swapped that runs. So I said, okay, let me do some diagnosing. Let's actually diagnose the crank sensor wiring. So go straight to the plug and make sure it's getting the power it's supposed to get from the ECU. So meaning when you turn the key on power and you have 12, let me show you while I'm talking to you. Key on power, and you have 12 volts going to the small pink wire that runs to your fuse block and powers everything up from the key. 12 volt, remember you need 12 volts constant and 12 volts while cranking. So everything comes on as usual, fuel pump relay, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not getting, so these would get 12 volt power to, which one is it? Which one? I think it was green or yellow. Let's see. Let me be my holder, be my second hand right there. So let's put you back on there. So we should be. Okay, so green. Is it? All right, hold on. I'm not a lefty. Well, I am, but only in one case. So green, bam. So that should be getting constant 12 volts right there. Well, I wasn't getting that. So I was like, okay, crank sensor's not the issue. So the only other issue is either fuses, the harness, or the ECU. And guess what it was? Notice anything missing? It was the ECU. Now, so I just went to the C10 in the backyard and I swapped ECUs while I was back there and it wouldn't start. So I hooked it back up to the ECU that was in it and I verified I was getting spark. So that's two things right there. We know that the C10 has a good crank sensor and has a good ECU. So I'm just got the ECU hooked up from the C10 and now I'm getting power to the green wire. So now we know we will get spark as long as, actually I'm going to throw the crank sensor that was in it before when it was actually running. I'm going to throw that back in it because that's an aftermarket crank sensor and those are very 50-50 unless your best chance of a good aftermarket crank sensor is AC Delco. Those are about 75% good out of the box. Standard products, I think is the cheaper one. Those are about 50-50 out of the box. So it's always good to have a backup LS based engine that matches your engine generation wise so that you have parts to test from. Most people, I completely understand you don't have that. You're just your one vehicle. I'm fortunate enough to still have two LS swaps in the back that I can test parts from. So there's two things I got to do now. I'm not going to put that new starter back in. Ooh, that boy's getting cooked over here. I'm not going to put this back in. It's a little shaky in there, which is sort of normal, but sometimes not. If you remember last video, when I turned it over, it was making the big scratching sound. So I'm going to put the starter that came with the engine itself, the LS1, on it and see if that changes anything. I got to grind down a little bit of the side of the block, which I'll show you guys after I do all this. And so put the old crank sensor back in, grind down the block, put in the OG starter. So I'm gonna do all that right now, and I'll get back to you. You guys want to see a dead body? I mean, abracadabra. Watch this. Hold on, gotta plug in coil pack harness. Just wanted to make sure you were paying attention. Retarded. Dumbest stuff always happens. Now let's backtrack. I pulled the transmission, replaced the torque converter. I put the transmission back in, hook everything back up, not wiring related, just transmission related. Engine doesn't run. ECU goes bad. Where do those two things come together? Right here in this driveway, because I make the impossible possible. Okay, tech weld this pipe down here, and then put it on the ground, and then we can see if it moves under its own power. So. You gotta get a new welding helmet. I haven't touched none of this stuff since the fire happened in the garage. Look at this. I just bought this too. Oh, brother. Okay. I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. What do you mean by that? Ah! That's what I mean. Oh, stop! Stop! Golly! My button keeps getting stuck. This ain't going well. Oh, that was a good one. Yes, I know you can still get flash burn with your eyes closed. I know, I know. stay. Okay, those are horrible, but at least it won't move for now. I will another time come back under here, because I wouldn't be surprised if I got to come back here for something and clean this up and do it better. But I got to get a new face mask now, so I just need it to stay. All you internet welders, watch this. Barrel roll. Oh, that's hot. Okay, never mind. Let's see if it does what it was supposed to do 2 days ago.
That's hot.
Okay, I got dad stuff to do, so I will see you guys whenever I see you guys. All right, I'm back. I just put the brake switch in. It took me like 2 or 3 minutes, if that. But you run a 4-prong brake switch. In this case, it is this one. If we can focus, SLS 159T. Oh, come on, man. These are my good ones, too. Okay, so let me show you how we do that. So this is the factory brake switch, and you just take this out, which it just screws in and out, and you take off that plug. And you take off the back plug. The back plug is the one you're going to reuse. And it'll look... Well, you can't see nothing, can you? So that's right. Oh, brother, you really can't see it. So, you can see where I have it plugged in. It's not letting me turn my light on. But the brake switch is right here. So there's the plug that went on the back of the old one. You just plug it into the front 2 prongs. And then right here, where I'm wiggling this wire and this wire, this pink one, well, they're both pink, so just hang with me. I used the same pink wire twice because it was so long that I just used it on the purple wire too. So you got the purple wire, it comes into the pink, but it's going to be purple. It goes on the very back prong. And then the pink one that's pink all the way from the harness itself, it will go on the prong next to that. And this pink one that's pink all the way down, that sends the power, the 12 volt power that you need. The purple one is this is purple right now. We'll just go with purple. The purple one is for your OD lockup, overdrive lockup. So let me show you. We're gonna touch the purple one. And we're gonna let there be light. Oh, I gotta turn the key on. Hold on. Okay. He didn't make it, doctor. He didn't make it. Sorry. I'm trying to look at this through the camera lens. There we go. Okay, we got power without pressing the brake pedal. So that's what you want. You want power with no brake pedal being pressed, because that's telling the OD, okay, when it's time to lock up, let's lock up. Let's get jiggy with it. But when we press the brake switch hard enough, oh, brother. Come on, Anthony. I'm trying to do this three-handed. Press. I keep touching the one that gives the constant power. Okay, there we go. Power. No power. Power. So no brake pedal. Oh, come on. Come on, Anthony. You have to give them a visual representation, or they won't know what you're talking about. Brake pedal, no power. No brake pedal. No brake pedal, power. Brake pedal, power. So, there you have it. Your brake switch is hooked up. And you are ready to go into overdrive. Well, lock up. You get overdrive already, but that locks the torque converter up. I can tell you one thing, though. Jeff, why are your legs upside down? What you doing over there, little bro? Anyways, we got a mess going on here. Yeah. That's what happens when a car beats you up for 6 hours. So, next, we are going to wire in not the speedometer. We're going to wire in this fan relay right here. Fan relay 1. So, green and pink. Now, even though this has 2 fans, I'm going to wire it to one single fan relay so that they just come on at the same time. Usually, I really don't understand it. Like, if you want the fans to come on, why one fan? Just go straight to high. Cool it down from the beginning. Don't go low speed and then high speed, and then I don't get it. So we're gonna go straight to one fan, and then in the ECU, I'm going to set the fans to come on at 160. So that means the ECU is going to wait until the water temp sensor says, 160, and it's going to say, send the power, and it's going to send the power at 160 degrees, and the fans are going to do their sucking or their blowing, whichever you prefer. So let's do that. So, BP Automotive gives you instructions. I can't read, so they also put pictures. They put letters on the pictures, so I'm doing the best I can. Seems like a good night to catch a lick. Huh, Jeff? For the unseasoned people that don't know what that means rob somebody. Haven't put the shiesty on in a minute, so. Perfect. We'll have the Cutlass ready to go. We'll pull a lick. We'll be done. Swap done. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, relay done. I had to put rear gear ratio and tire size into the ECU. We don't know exactly what the rear gear ratio is, but Google said most commonly a 373, a 410, or a 342. So I have a 25% chance. No, 3, 4. I got 27.6% chance that one of those three is the right one, so I picked 373s. So let's see how it shifts. This is not done at all. It's just kind of here, but it's out of the way where nothing will get burnt. That's all I needed for right now. The next video, I'll be making it all pretty and it'll be done. I also, it's $500 right there, bro. Jeez. I also don't know. Let's do one last check, make sure nothing's touching anything important. Oh, that's touching the header. Perfect. Let's hide you back here where you will probably find your way out and sit on the header. Yep. Probably. Just stay like right there. We'll be good. Nothing touching? I don't think so. Shouldn't be. I can't tell if. Okay, that should be good. That's the O2 sensor. Okay. Moment of truth. You are missing. Where is your nut? Finger tight. Perfect. That'll work. You too, huh? All right. We got coolant. We should still have oil. I know we got transmission fluid. So, well, what happened there? Okay, I do not have my usual, oh my goodness, let me clean my lip. I do not have my usual thingy to stick on the window so that y'all can face me and watch me, so I gotta one hand this. We do have headlights though, I just checked. We're in park. Here we go, start, please start. Woo! Wee! Hey, check engine lights on. Just ignore that. Okay, and reverse. This thing sounds nasty. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's put her in drive. Neutral. Drive. Go. Oh, we're burning off a lot of oil and a lot of transmission fluid. Shift. Oh, there we go. We should be in like third by now. Don't pull out, lady. I ain't got insurance. I just built this. Also, got to remember, we got that high stall in it too, so shifting RPMs are going to be different. God damn, this thing sounds good though. Uh-oh, here we go. All the ladies love me. You wanna see what you do in Texas? Hey. Oh, hey there. How are you? Howdy. Need to get a hand, a fake hand that just sits on the dash like this. Oh, I see a Mustang in front of us. That's right, you better run. We gotta work on the idle. Oh, there we go. It actually went down. Oh, I forgot to put a gas cap on. We're alright, we're good. We're good. Oh, she shifts nice and smooth. Hopefully this car behind me doesn't get too close, because I'm trying to let it rip tater chip once we get down here. Just a carousing. Okay, instead of going right, we're gonna go left, because I feel like all the traffic behind me is gonna go right. All right, let's see what she does. Oh shit, oh shit. Yeah, buddy. Woo! That's a bad girl right there, I tell you what. Let's do it again. I used to race here back in high school. From here to them train tracks was exactly a quarter. There's a car behind me, gotta go. Oh my goodness! That cutting out is just in the tune. It needs to be tuned, because it was obviously, it cut out because of fuel pressure. It needs to be tuned. We got it tuned good enough to where we can drive it. What's the coolant temp? Who knows? We don't need that kind of negativity. Woo! That's a bad girl though. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you know you are. Bad girl. This thing is nasty. Oh my goodness. Don't nobody wants to smoke with Big Dog. God, oh my gosh, this sounds so good. Well, I wouldn't recommend this setup if you're trying to leave your side chick's house at 3 a.m. Let's give her a little bit of... Golly! I ain't barely giving any pedal. We done got down, pushed down in the seat. I tell you what, right there, boy. Woo-wee! That. Oh, that was it. I'll tell you what. Where's the door handle right? Where's the door handle around his parts? Oh, we might be leaking something. Probably coolant from, I actually had the cap on, so it got pressurized. Or could have just overfilled it with transmission fluid. Or, oh, just some oil. The oil dip, I gotta deal with that oil dipstick tube. Oh, it is transmission fluid. We're leaking from the line. I can't see nothing at light. I can't see nothing at night. Okay, that's no big. I'm not worried about that. These PTFE lines. Yeah, there we go. Just leaking from the PTFE line. Surprise, surprise. Or actually, it's probably just not tight enough. Okay, I can live with that. Actually, hold on. I'm not worried about that. That is easy fix. I'll tell you what though. That is the baddest swap I've done so far. That was, let me tell you something. The G-body shuffle is real. It's real, folks. So, with that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Like, subscribe, comment, you know, all the good stuff. Glad we got that figured out. I gotta fix the transmission leak. We left a nice little spot out there in the what you wanna call it, the road. Anyways, I will see y'all on the next one.